Hey everyone, it is Persuadable here, and today we are going to discuss episode 30 of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. As always, feel free to reach out to me to offer your critiques and theories. We finally saw some action, and as many predicted, the strength of the new Seven Swordsmen of the Mist was underwhelming. Let's discuss the main takeaways from the episode. Chojuro, is he weak, incompetent, or a badass? Chojuro is either incredibly weak or incredibly dumb, or why I'm missing something through Force symbolism. Hear me out on this one. Chojuro instantly was penetrated by Hibichigo's new Abari sewing needle and subdued. Some suggest he either allowed this to happen or was truly outwitted by Hibichigo's skill, but most likely he allowed this to happen to gain information from the rebelling Seven Swordsmen. The problem, he is a Mizuka, and thus far, the Seven Swordsmen have been portrayed to be utterly incompetent and surprisingly weak. If Chojuro willingly allowed himself to be damaged by the Seven Swordsmen to gain intelligence, then he is incompetent because it was completely unnecessary. He could have easily avoided their attacks. Unless you consider it symbolism to allow himself to get injured to somehow teach the Seven Swordsmen a lesson about sacrifice and pain. Chojuro, thus, it is abundantly clear he was toying with the Seven Swordsmen. The subdued Chojuro trolled Hasaku Onamichi when Hasaku raised his executioner blade and stated, "I, Hasaku Onamichi, will show you how to use a sword." Without fear, Chojuro looks him in the eye and states, "Make sure you aim well. Striking a target that can't move can be pretty difficult." Of course, Chojuro avoids the attack by manipulating Hibichigo's wire strings. He then raises his swords and states, "Didn't I tell you to aim well?" Chojuro then criticizes Hibichigo for avoiding being cut. Hibichigo did not understand Chojuro and stated, "No one wishes to be cut by a sword." Chojuro then delivered an epic response, "Without a doubt, getting cut is painful. But, unless you're prepared for your flesh to be cut, you'll never sever bone." Hibichigo launches her sewing needle at Chojuro, who willingly allows it to pierce his deltoid, his shoulder. He charges through it, running, throwing the sew and hitting Hibichigo with the handle of his sword and rendering her useless. Chojuro Hasaku, wielding the executioner's blade, remained in awe at Chojuro's battle ability and rapidly began shaking. He charged Chojuro, wielding nothing but a broken sword, and swung his blade. Chojuro halted the attack with his broken blade, swung it directly at Hasaku, and sliced Hasaku's headband off. Chojuro then wielded the executioner's blade, pointed it at Kyoho Fuefuki, and demanded him to surrender. He did just that without even putting up a fight. Pathetic, really. Sarada's battle ability. As expected, we witnessed a battle between Sarada Uchiha and Buntan Kurasuke. Using her Kiba swords, Buntan immediately attacked Sarada with Thunder Funeral. Sarada Uchiha avoided it by hiding behind a rock. Underwhelming. However, it was overwhelming enough for Sarada to activate her Sharingan. Sarada Uchiha demonstrated excellent dodging abilities using her Sharingan as she elegantly dodged all of Buntan's lightning balls, even when nearly blinded by the mist. We saw a new technique of the Kiba swords which allowed Buntan to control and manipulate them from afar while hiding in the encompassing mist. We saw Buntan hide in the mist because she feared Sarada's Sharingan. Buntan was knowledgeable and understood Sarada could copy signs if seeing them, thus Buntan attempted to hide so her signs could not be copied. We saw Sarada use the shadow clone technique. She was able to effectively trick Buntan when Buntan focused her snake head on a shadow clone. When Sarada and Buntan finally emerged in close combat, we witnessed the beauty of the Sharingan, the ability to copy signs and moves and completely render another's technique useless. We witnessed